Hey guys, Can You Charmanders here, and today I bring to you a video on the best monster tracker guide, tips and tricks. This is a guide for the update that released the brand new monster tracker, and this feature allows you to encounter monsters of your choosing. So I didn't really see anything of this on like forums or whatnot, but I saw something like it where some hunters were requesting like, hey, let us hunt a monster of our choosing or something like that. Well, here, bring in the monster tracker. I will also include some tips and tricks you can do by using this feature. First, we're going to start off with how to access the monster tracker. The monster tracker is located in your paintball menu. From there, you can see a tab where you can see your monster tracker. Alright, now here's how the monster tracker works. The monster tracker allows you to encounter a monster of your choosing and its difficulty by hunting large monsters. So you get to pick. You get to pick the star difficulty and what monster you want. Once you select the monster, you will see its symbol appear along with its tier. Here's an example right here. I have an 8-star Legiana with the 8 stars above it are the 3 purple stars and the symbol of Legiana right here. You can also see your progress towards your current monster via the Palico and its paw symbol above it with a number. So right here, I have a Palico that has a 1 above it, so I need to hunt 2 more to encounter my selected number. That's because the number on the right, as you see circled right here, indicates the amount of large monsters you must hunt total. So that's the total amount of monsters you must hunt in order for you to complete this tracking of this monster and hunt it for the monster tracker. Once you slay enough monsters, you'll get a green check mark along with the monster you wanted to hunt as a notification above your paintball menu icon. So as you see, I have it circled right here, bam, green check mark. Monster you wanted to hunt right above your paintball menu. Once you enter the paintball menu, you will see the monster you are tracking available to hunt. So once you see that green check mark, bam, you're cleared. You can now hunt the monster you are looking for. Once you finish that hunt, you will be able to move to track another monster if you have reached your monster tracker limit. So you can't just track and hunt as many monsters as you want. There is a limit per day on how many monsters you can hunt for the monster tracker. And last but not least, monsters you track can be saved for up to 2 days before they expire. Like you see right here, it says my Legiana will expire in 1 day and 23 hours. This is just like paintball monsters. Now here's a step-by-step guide to use the monster tracker. Step 1, go to the paintball menu and tap on change or start if it's your first time using the monster tracker. Step 2, select what monster you want to hunt. As you see here, I'm selecting what monster. In this case, it's a Legiana. Step 3, tap on the stars tab to set the star difficulty. Here it is, it's circled right here. And here's an important note. You can only set it to the max tier you've unlocked, so if you are at 6 stars, you cannot set it to 7 stars. Step 4, tap on confirm. Step 5, hunt the number of required large monsters. And then step 6, hunt the monster you wanted to track. Next up, here are some useful tips for the monster tracker. You can hunt up to 5 monsters a day, so you can only use it 5 times a day. The total number of large monsters you must slay increases after every track. So, after your first one of the day, you must hunt 3 large monsters. After your second monster track of the day, you must hunt 6 large monsters. The third tracked monster requires 9 large monsters. The fourth requires 12 large monsters. And for your last one of the day, the 5th one, it requires 20 large monsters. Once you hit 20, you can tell it's your last one for the day, indicated by the remaining 1 above change. So this is your last track you can do for the day. The monster tracker will also reset at 5 a.m. local time. I'm not sure why it's like that, but 5 a.m. your local time, like you see right here for my time, it resets at 5 a.m. your time. That's when you can reset this after you're done with all 5 of your hunts if you finish them all. Unfortunately, the monster tracker does have its limitations. You can only hunt monsters that you have unlocked in the story urgent quest and the maximum star tier you have reached. Here's an example. I'm at 9 stars, so I can only go up to 9-star monsters. You cannot hunt subspecies or boss monsters from special hunting mechanics. Here's an example. Zinogre and Deviljho. This makes sense, they already said they wouldn't, but subspecies are supposed to be rare for a reason, or encourage you to do them in hats, or fight Deviljho and Zinogre using their intended mechanics. Being able to hunt 5 special boss mobs using the monster tracker would just make it too OP, so of course it would have to have some limitations. You have 3 attempts to hunt your tracked monster. It's just like paintball monsters, you have 3 chances, so if if you fail in those 3 chances, unfortunately, you'll lose your monster. And you must be at 30% HP to hunt tracked monsters. Just like other large monsters, there's no exception for this. You must have enough HP, 30% to be exact, otherwise you cannot start the hunt. And now here are some tips for the monster tracker. You can change the monster you want to track as many times as you want if your tracker progress is 0. Here's an example. As you see here, I can change my monster as much as I want with 0 monsters on my tracker progress. This means you didn't kill a single monster towards that bar. Now here's the thing, here's the caveat. If you do or if you have killed some monsters for your bar, you can change the monster you want to track in between hunting for the large monsters, but this will reset your large monster progress back to 0. Here's an example right here. I try to reset and it gives me a warning box saying it's going to reset my tracker progress. I hit OK and bam, it changes it to 0. So unless you really messed up, I recommend you don't do this. But again, it's up to you. If you accidentally really notice later on, you're like, oh, this is not what I wanted, you can reset it. But remember, this will reset your monster progress to 0. In addition, you can unmark monsters using the trash can icon. It's right there on the bottom right. Do you see right here? I circled it. You hit that, you can unmark a monster. But here's a warning. If you unmark a monster from the tracker, you will lose that monster and it will move you to the next one. Here's an example. I unmarked the 3 total monster that I was tracking. So now I get moved to the 6 total monster and it just totally disappeared. So again, this means unless you accidentally tracked a monster you cannot slay, you should never unmark a monster from the tracker. Again, if you can't slay it, then you can unmark it, but just be careful because you just lose it and you did all that work and you lose a tracked monster for no reason. Last but not least, here's some tricks you could do for the monster tracker. Tracked monsters can be hunted with friends, so if you have a group of friends, you can share your tracked monsters. As you see right here, you have to hunt them with a QR code just like your paintball monsters. So again, you can get around with a group of friends and y'all can just share all of your tracked monsters, which is really great if you have a group to play with. You know, for those of us players that are solo players that don't have remote hunting right now until that comes out and we only have hunted on matchmaking, unfortunately, you can't do that. However, another neat trick to make up for that, you can use the tracked monsters to complete quest objectives. So if you have a quest objective that needs to hunt a certain monster, just like your paintball monsters, this can make up for that. You can also use tracked monsters to complete your daily quest monster if you are having trouble finding it on the field. Having trouble finding an Odogaron like you see me over here? Well, all I'm going to do is just use a tracked monster. Use those tracked monsters to fulfill your daily quest mission so you can get your refining part and your zenny for that day. And lastly, you could see a monster's obtainable materials when you select a monster to track. Here it is right over here. This is actually the fastest way to view a list of a monster's materials if you need a reference. So if you need to look at it quickly and you're like, oh, can I get the rarity 2 from this star monster? Guess what? This is the fastest way to do it. So go in there, play with the star tier, etc. if you need a reference to what materials you can get from a certain monster. Unfortunately, you can't see subspecies or final boss monsters with mechanics like Devil Jors and Ogre. So if you've slayed those monsters and you want the reference, you have to go to the monster guide for those. Hopefully this guide helps you with the monster tracker. This feature is awesome and helps players hunt for monsters that are limited to one biome. I've already had a few of you tell me like, oh my gosh, thank you. Finally, I can hunt Legiana, or Gyratotus, or Diablos. Those monsters that can only appear in one biome, unless you drive and grind like Tokyo Drift like I do, they're really difficult to find. So hopefully this feature is really helping y'all out, and it was super awesome that they added this to the game. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I hope y'all are getting all the drops you need, or you are all enjoying the monster tracker feature for whatever you're using it for, especially those Wyvern Gem Shards. If you're looking for those Wyvern Gem Shards, I wish you the best of luck in your hunt for the YGS. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.